So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah. Generally, when it comes to any anime series, most of the people really like to know which character is the strongest in their verse. So today we are going to discuss about who is amongst the top 10 strongest characters in Tokyo Revengers. Also, I would like to mention this before we start the video. I will be mentioning many new characters that we didn't see the full potential of them yet. Characters like Shinichiro, Baji, and some new characters who have not been introduced in the anime yet, like South and Senju and IZANA. And also, not to mention, we will also consider the fact that MIKEY and TAKEMICHI has some kind of extraordinary powers as well. So keeping in mind of all of this, I have carefully categorized. And now I'm going to share my thoughts on who are the top 10 strongest characters. And if you guys think some characters should more higher up in rank than what I judged, you guys can comment below about it. And let me know your thoughts about it. So, before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So let's start with the 10th place. I think it's BENKEI. I'll also explain for every characters why they deserve the place they are placed in. And like I said before, if you think it's wrong, you guys can tell me your comment about it. Anyway, we'll know that the legendary duo was introduced in the final arc of the series. So compared to the other characters, we know so less about them. But even though with the less amount of time, at least we got know in actual who they are. The real founding members of First Black Dragon Gang. WAKASA and BENKEI. After joining the Black Dragon Gang, they became the strongest duo and the toughest brawlers in Japan. We can say that WAKASA and BENKEI are same strength-wise. But for me, the reason why BENKEI is one step below in rank than WAKASA is WAKASA has more insane agility than him. Also, this is the reason why Senju is strongest character in the series. Even during fight against South, BENKEI's punch didn't do any damage to South. Also, after BENKEI got one punch from South, he was totally knocked out. He literally lost his consciousness. Even during the final arc, he pretty much struggled against his opponent and got finally defeated by TAIJU. Anyway, now the 9th strongest character is WAKASA. Like I said before, his agility is the main reason why he is stronger than BENKEI. After all, 12 gang was under his control, while BENKEI gang had only 600 members. He has so much of influence on everyone. But also during the Three Deities arc, WAKASA's kick did damage to South. Even though BENKEI has Herculean strength, he can't do anything against him. Also, South can't match up with WAKASA's insane speed and agility. Because WAKASA didn't even give him the time for a counter-attack. Only because of this, BENKEI managed to land a hard hit on South's face. After South urges got stronger, BENKEI faced South head-on. South easily knocked BENKEI down. While WAKASA didn't lose his consciousness. But I really wish to know more about them. I hope we will get spin-off about Black Dragon's arc soon. Now the 8th strongest character. And I think it is KAKUCHO. Personally, I think he has more feats than the legendary duo. After all, he was introduced way before them. We saw that he fought with so many characters in this series. So judging from all of this, I think KAKUCHO definitely deserves this place. Tenjiku is one of the strongest gangs in the series. And KAKUCHO is the head of Tenjiku's Big Four. Obviously, which means he is way stronger than the famous Hitani brothers and Mucho and Mochizuki. Also, I think everyone remembers this. That South desperately wanted to recruit KAKUCHO into his gang. Which proves even someone like South acknowledged his strength. Even in the Kanto Manji gang, KAKUCHO was the bodyguard of the captain. In Rakihara he was a top dog. His position literally proves who he is. Anyway, we all know that during Tenjiku arc, Angry's Blue Ogre mode destroyed members of Tenjiku's Big Four. But KAKUCHO destroyed Angry, including Chifu and TAKEMICHI, and Inupi. He's very fast, and they couldn't even stand up after that. Which proves he is strong. And has good speed at the same time. Even in the final arc of series, the same thing happened. KAKUCHO destroyed the Kawada brothers and Chifu because they can't keep up with his speed. And Takemichi didn't defeat him in final arc, but Takemichi gave him a very hard time. Which slightly proves Takemichi has more durability than Kakucho. In the final arc, I think, Kakucho and Takemichi was similar in strength, which we clearly saw in the battle in between them. Now we come to the 7th place. Obviously, in my opinion it's Taiju. At first, we saw Taiju's strength only in the Black Dragon arc. But, after that, he didn't play any role in the story. But after he comes back in the final battle, everything changed. But yeah, like everyone, Taiju was also knocked out by Mikey in one kick. But he fought with Takemichi and Mitsuya Hakai alone, who were considered as the captains and vice-captain of Toman gang. He obviously is stronger than all of the Toman captains, other than Mikey and Draken. Even in the final battle, he literally changed the battle dynamics upside down and knocked down most of the Kanto Manji members, including the legendary duo. Even South slightly struggled against them. But Taiju single-handed defeated the legendary duo without struggling, which proves his true strength. No one has ever done this before. So yeah, he obviously deserves this place. Anyway, now the 6th strongest character in my list is the protagonist of the series, Takemichi. I know many of you will get offended because I'm placing the main character in the 6th position and not even in top 5. But it is just my opinion, that's it. You can give your take on this too. Anyway, ever since the beginning, it was obvious that Mikey and Takemichi will face each other in the end of the series. But the difference between him and Mikey in strength was so big. While Mikey was the strongest character in the series, Takemichi is just mere middle schooler with crazy time-leaping skills. But over the due courses of time, Takemichi also became a delinquent. He faced so many strong opponents who were much stronger than him. He was the first guy who made Taiju kneel down. And the guy who didn't give up till the end when he faced Tenjiku Gang's boss. And, finally, he faced the invincible Mikey. Even though Takemichi didn't defeat them, his durability was way better than them. When IZANA struggled against normal Mikey, who just lost his sister, Takemichi faced the very strongest and the most depressed and darkest impulse version of Mikey. Yeah, it was only possible with his power called the Future Vision. So many people think, because of this power, Takemichi should be the 2nd strongest character in the series. Because even the dark impulsivity Mikey struggled against him. But after some time, Mikey almost defeated Takemichi. And Mikey used katana only because he lost his control. Not because he wanted to kill him. So in this place, there is a big difference. So considering all of this, still there are some characters who are much stronger and attack faster than him. So I think Takemichi is 6th strongest character. Anyway, the 5th strongest character in the series is Draken. There are so many incidents where he turned into a demon. And still he will not lose his cool. Whenever we talk about Draken, some people think Hanma is also strength-wise equal to him. Which is true, but Hanma was never defeated by Draken in battle. Because in the end of the Tenjiku arc, Hanma lost to Draken. And Draken still has the energy to fight with him. So the comparison will not work anymore. And Draken, without sweating a bit, he destroyed 100 members of the Black Dragon gang. Most of the time, we saw Draken's face a lot of people at one go. His brute strength alone proved why he is the vice president and the right hand of Mikey. But it's very absurd that we didn't see anything about him in the final battle. And I think, definitely he would have defeated the legendary duo in no time, in my opinion. Just the way Taiju did. However, the 4th strongest character in the series will be the most controversial one. Whatever it is, in my opinion, it will always be Senju. The reason I put her above Draken is because she is herself the president of the Brahmin gang. And no one follows and accepts any weak member as their president. If you'll remember, when Senju wanted Takemichi to join her gang, Draken literally didn't like it and started to argue with her. But the next moment, the line she said was, "Wanna fight right here?" She didn't fear about him and anyone. That's why she is the boss of one of the strongest gang. Even during the fight against South, her agility was much better compared to Wakasa. And also she was way faster than him and South. Her attacks did more damage to him. Even after South urges got stronger, he very much struggled against her. Although she didn't lose in the battle, after IZANA, she has more strength and agility than anyone in the series. If we saw her fight against South, we can see that she never gave South a chance for even counterattack that frequently. Now, I know many of you are wondering. If TAKEMICHI and DRAKEN are not in the top 3, then who are? Well, to answer your questions, here is the top 3 strongest characters in Tokyo Revengers. In my opinion, IZANA has to be the 3rd strongest character in the series. So many people think he is the 2nd. Without a doubt, IZANA really overpowered Mikey at the beginning of the fight. But compared to the final arc Mikey, the Tenjiku arc Mikey was a much weaker version of him. After all, during that moment, Mikey just lost his sister Emma. And he was mentally drained and tired. IZANA's biggest strength is solitude, which Mikey broke very easily by saying he wasn't alone. Even though he can sense and predict enemies' moves, Mikey easily destroyed him at end of the battle. Also, do you remember what DRAKEN said? Even IZANA stopped and took Mikey's kick more times. In the end, IZANA's limbs were all worn out. He couldn't take any more kicks of Mikey at one point. IZANA was a really good opponent for Mikey. But if IZANA fought with the Dark Impulse Mikey, his fight wouldn't even last 3 pages. So he didn't face Mikey's strongest version yet. Which makes him the 3rd strongest character. Now the 2nd strongest is, as you all already know. And yeah, it is South. Within the short amount of time, Ken Wakui-sensei managed to create this monster, who is equal to Mikey strength-wise. Even though he was recently introduced, South fought with most of the characters in the series. He faced the legendary duo and SENJU and at last Mikey in the same night. He and TAKEMICHI only faced the strongest version of Mikey in the whole series. Like Mikey have Dark Impulse, South enjoyed violence and had the strongest urges to destroy a stronger person than him. Even though Mikey has Dark Impulse, he took heavy damages against South. Meanwhile, IZANA's limbs were worn out against a weak version of Mikey. No one did this much damage to Mikey other than South. I wonder, without the Dark Impulse, could South possibly win against Mikey? If you guys have any opinions or thoughts about this, let me know below. Anyway, at last the top strongest character is our most invincible Mikey. There's no need for an explanation for his strength. It's like the author had already decided that he'll be the invincible monster that no can defeat. And Mikey knows martial arts so well. I think Mikey's strongest opponent will be South and the future Vision TAKEMICHI. Because we never seen Mikey struggling against anyone. He defeated all of the strongest characters in one kick. I really wish to know more about his brother, Shinichiro. I personally think he is stronger than Mikey. But unfortunately, we didn't see more about him. So I really cannot predict anything without proper data. Anyway, what do you guys think about this list? If you think otherwise, let me know below. Anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.